Good afternoon. What a great panel. Thanks again. I just want to acknowledge Infor is a great partner to CUNY, and Barb Chang and her story of the unnamed bank. Through that kind of process that she went through, CUNY students, by participating and doing that skills assessment, definitely accessed internships and job opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise. So this is a tremendous tool that I think also has great potential for the entire kind of coalition community. So I encourage you guys to kind of stay tuned as this work continues to evolve. My name is Valerie Payne. I am a member of the New York City Employment and Training Coalition Board. I serve as secretary and sit on the executive committee. I'm pleased to be here today. I'm also a university director of continuing education and workforce programs in CUNY's Office of Academic Affairs. My work focuses on building the capacity at the college level and across the university to improve the career success and employment outcomes of CUNY students and graduates. And in keeping with the theme for today, I advocate for the development of easier and more access points for post-secondary lifelong learning opportunities. And I'll also say that a college degree is definitely the way to kind of increase an individual's economic earnings and potential over time. I am pleased to introduce our next presenter of the 8-Minute Solution and a partner in CUNY's Career Success Initiative, Diallo Shabazz from DC 37's Education Fund. Diallo.
Good afternoon. How many people here are familiar with DC 37? District Council 37, it's the largest municipal public sector labor union in the country. We have 127,000 members working across 1,000 different job titles in about a dozen different industries. To give you a quick synopsis of what that means, every day in New York, there are 15,000 calls, 911 calls that are placed. The people who answer those calls are DC 37 members who've been trained in communication skills and foreign language skills to support the person who's making the call to dispatch medical assistance if necessary. The person who arrives in an ambulance is an EMT who's also been trained by DC 37 as a member, potentially in CNA and certified nursing assistant to deliver those medical services on site. They put that person into the ambulance and drive them to the hospital where a junior public health nurse meets them at the ambulance bay who's been trained in EKG and phlebotomy certification to read the person's vitals and take their blood. They bring them into the hospital where a medical billing and coding assistant takes that person's health insurance to make sure that they get the health support that they need. They've been trained in medical billing and coding by our education fund, and they're whisked into the surgery room where a surgery technician who has a surgery technician certification, trained by DC 37 as well and one of our members, to save that person's life. This exact same type of story can be told across a dozen different industries, from sanitation and transportation to architecture and engineering. It's our job to make sure that core city services are provided by qualified individuals. And every so often, one of those individuals comes into our office and says, I need your help. I need your help to track down a copy of my certification that I completed a few years ago so I can qualify for the next job. Or I need your help to track down the continuing education credits that I got to maintain my license, and I don't have a copy of it. And instead of always digging through mountains of boxes for some piece of paper, we started thinking about, is there a more innovative solution? Is there a technological solution we can deploy to do this more efficiently at scale? And what our research led us to are what are called digital badges. Digital badges are electronic credentials that allow you to track skill sets that people have earned, certifications that they have received, competencies they've developed. These are actual visual representations of some digital badges. The one on the upper left-hand corner is for an architect employed by the city for blast-resistant design. Marzo Engineering is certified by the New York State Education Department to provide continuing education training for the city's architects and engineers. And so what we did was we said, we're going to issue this badge, but we're going to get Marzo Engineering to validate it so that the architect who completes the course is able to receive a digital badge from their training. On the upper right-hand side, something from the National Association of Social Workers for the city social workers that may work for ACS. And then on the bottom, as a labor union, we obviously have been doing leadership training for a long time, and we can be the validators there and say, because we have expertise in providing leadership training, we can be the ones that validate whether or not these digital badges have value. Our research also showed us that there are a number of different corporations and training organizations and colleges and universities across the country that are utilizing digital badges. This is an infographic from the Association of Certified Public Accountants. When a public accountant takes a course through AICPA now, they don't receive a paper certificate anymore. They receive a digital badge. They're able to log into their platform and download a copy of their digital badge. They can show it to their employer. They can put it on their resume so someone can click on it and opens a digital badge. You can see exactly what they've learned and who validated it. They can add it to the tool sets that are now available on Facebook and on LinkedIn to list their digital badges on their pre-existing profile. They can send out through Twitter. So there are a number of different ways that digital badges can be shared. The issuers of digital badges are those people who have the platforms that are sending them out. And so DC 37 Education Fund, we're now an issuer of the digital badges. The validators are the organizations that are certifying that the person has gone through a training that is approved by an external provider. The earners are our students, and the opportunities, there are a number of different ways that digital badges are being used. Some colleges are using them as admissions criteria for students. Employers are using them for hiring criteria. We're using them to help us determine what our training pathway should be for our members. So we reached out to a company called Credly.com. Credly.com owns a digital badging platform, and they built us an enterprise website. And this is actually a screenshot of that where our members can log into the digital badging platform and access their profile and see all the different digital badges they've earned by completing courses that we offer. If a social worker logs in who's recently completed a course, what they'll see is a copy of their digital badge here right on the right-hand side. So a neurobiology approach to overreactive clients badge, which apparently is something that social workers need to know. They receive 6 continuing education credits from the National Association of Social Workers, which is authorized to provide the training. And if they click the view button, what opens up is what you see on the right-hand side, the criteria for earning the badge. These could be skill sets or competencies. Sometimes people want to see an actual copy of the physical certificate that you would have received because sometimes the state or some other entity has a licensing number. And in the digital badges, you can upload an individual PDF. So if you send a link to someone, they click on the digital badge and see this, and they say, well, I need to see the actual certificate. They can download that as a PDF and print it, and they have it right there. So this becomes a very effective way for our own members to begin managing their own education, their digital badges, their certificates and licensing criteria and continuing education credits that they've taken. An exciting thing that we're trying to do this year is we're expanding this to a few different industries. So these are the 6 industries at the top, from healthcare all the way down to legal services for our members that are working throughout the city. Right now, the current job titles for the city workers, if you are a CNA or an EMT, you're receiving digital badges from us from the courses that you're completing. Social workers, architects, engineers, and paralegals. Many of the architects, engineers, and paralegals and social workers have to complete a certain number of continuing education credits each year, and they're receiving digital badges now to track those. We're also understanding, of course, how important soft skills are. We're beginning to deploy soft skills badges to individuals as well. And many times, people may list that they have good customer service skills on a resume or public speaking or conflict resolution skills. We're trying to partner with individuals who are instructors that are already certified by a national organization so that the digital badge that our individuals receive means they've passed an assessment where some external third party has said that the customer service training that they've completed has been verified by some outside entity, so we all are clear on what the benchmark of excellence looks like. So over the past few months, we just rolled this out a few months ago. We've deployed 20 different types of digital badges that have gone out to about 1,000 of our members. We know that about 30% of our members who are receiving these digital badges are utilizing them right away. Obviously, we always want 100%, but 30%, especially if many people, you get a certificate when you go to a training and you throw it in a box, you never look at it again. The 30% of people who are receiving these digital badges, they're putting them on their resumes, they're tweeting them out, they're using Facebook, and we get a data report of real-time utilization. And so moving forward, we're looking at this as being an opportunity for us not only to help our members track what skill sets and competencies and licenses and certifications they've accrued over time, we're also looking at career pathways, because if we can see what digital badges are missing from a member's portfolio, we know what next course they need to take to plug in to move them along their career pathway. Thank you.